Hey, it's at MiWilderness. I'm gonna tap some maples today. This is a nice big red maple. I believe it's red. I just want to give you some tips on tapping if you decide to do this. What you want to look for is a maple, period. But you want maples that are over 10 inch in diameter, and you can put one tap in those. If the tree is over 18 inches in diameter, you can put 2 taps in it. And if it's over 25 inches in diameter, you can put 3 taps in it. And really, you should never put more than 3 taps in a tree. This tree at shoulder height is over 30 inches in diameter. So I can put 3 taps in it, and it has a really big crown. So I'm going to put 1 tap on each one of these main crowns. And when I look at the tree, I look up it and I look for dead spots or dead branches. Any branches that are damaged, I try to avoid if I can. You want to make sure the tree is healthy. If it's not healthy, you don't want to tap it because it can cause further stress on a tree, and if you tap into some bad wood, it can lead to some bad tasting syrup. So just look the tree over, make sure it appears fairly healthy, measure it at shoulder height to determine how many taps to put in, and then go ahead and put your taps in. Typically, you want to start tapping these trees when the temperatures get above freezing in the day and stay below freezing at night for an extended period. And for us here in southern Michigan, that's usually anywhere from mid-February to around the first week of March. Today is February 28th, and I'm gonna be putting my taps in because I know it's already been flowing. So let me get set up and I'll show you exactly how to tap a maple tree. Alright, let's get the tap. I'm using 5/16 inch tree saver spouts, so I need a 5/16 inch drill bit. When you drill into the tree, you want to point the drill slightly upward. That way the sap can flow down and out. You don't want it to be down, and you really don't want it to be parallel. You want it to be slightly upward. Try not to wobble the bit as you're going in because you don't want to misshape in the hole. And once you get it drilled, just run it in and out a couple times carefully to try and get all that sawdust out of the hole. And you only want to go in about 2 inches into the sapwood of the tree, which is the white wood. If you go too far, you'll hit dark wood, which is heartwood, and that can give your sap an off flavor. So what I do is I hold my finger out in front of my drill bit so I know once I hit the 2-inch mark, which is right about there. Once my finger touches the tree, I know I'm in far enough. Take the tap. Put it on the tubing. Take your hammer. You want to lightly tap on this spile until the hammer bounces back. Once the hammer bounces back, you know you're in far enough. If you go too far, you'll split the tree, and if you don't go far enough, sap will leak out from around your tap. See, it just bounced back. I know it's in. That way I don't break my taps, I don't split the tree, and everything works really good. There's a lot of different setups you can use to do this. You can hang a bucket on a tree or whatever, but I'm using the tubing going into a 3 to 5 gallon bucket with a small hole poked in the lid. Now I put this hole about 1 inch in from the edge of the bucket, and when I snap this on, I'm only snapping down the back half, so the bucket will sit somewhat like this. The lid will sit at an angle. That way if it rains, the rain will go down here and it won't go in my hole. And I drilled this hole just undersize of my plastic tubing, so it'll be a real nice fit. That way, once I set this up, the only thing going in this bucket is going to be sap. Even if it's pouring rain or real windy, a lot of debris can fall out of the trees into your bucket. Ants can crawl in it, rain can get in it, so you want to try and protect your sap. These cutters are made specially for tubing. It just makes the job easier. You can get them at any hardware store. It's a tubing cutter. You want that line to run straight down into your bucket as much as possible. And I leave about 6 inches extra. Because if this snow melts, I might need it, because right now this bucket's sitting on top of the snow. There you go, that's how you tap a maple. That tubing has a little bit of slack But like I said, you know, this snow is probably going to melt, and I'm going to need a little slack to, once that snow melts, that bucket will be sitting down another half a foot to a foot. That's it. I'll take you in for a little close-up. So there's the tap. Like I said, I believe that's a Leader or LaPierre 5/16 inch tree saver tap. Hopefully you can see it's pointing upward at an angle, and that tubing runs straight down out of the tree. And into my 3-gallon bucket. That's a real nice tight fit going into the bucket, and the lid is sealed all the way around except for in the very front. I leave the front undone just so it makes it easier to get these lids off when changing out buckets and collecting sap. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more taps on this tree. This is the tubing. You can get this in a 500-foot roll for about 50 bucks. The buckets you can get at your local bakery. Some will sell them to you, and some will give them to you, so just check around. You need a brace or a cordless drill to drill the holes, and a 5/16 drill bit. This battery is already dead, so I might be in trouble. You need something to cut the tubing, and you need something to pound in the spiles carefully. You can pre-make your taps with the tubing on them and just stick them in the bucket. That way it's quicker, but it can be kind of tricky determining how long to cut the tubing, so that's pretty much it. These tree saver taps are about, I think they're like 30 cents a piece or something. Pretty inexpensive. They're a lot less expensive than the old-fashioned taps, and from what I understand, they work better and they're better for the tree. It helps to have a sled to carry everything in as you go around through the woods. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get back to tapping. I got about 30 taps to put out today. If you're interested in this and you'd like to get more information, a good place to go is MapleTrader.com. They have a forum where you can ask all kinds of questions and get all kinds of answers. They also have a manual. I believe it's called the North American Maple Syrup Producers Manual. That contains just about all the information you would ever need to make maple syrup from start to finish. And another good book is Backyard Sugarin'. It's a small book, and it's made more for the backyard producer who doesn't want to spend a lot of money. But I'd check out those 2 books and check out MapleTrader.com, and you should have all the information you ever need to make maple syrup. But I'll talk to you later.